It all started in a rented two-story building on a sliding hill in Baguio City. BBI began its operation with 12 students and 7 teachers. 3 students came from Ilocos Norte, 3 from La Union, 3 from Pangasinan, 2 from Aklan, and 1 from Antique. On December 8, 1941, the operation of the school was abruptly cut by the outbreak of World War II. The school then reopened in Poso Rubio, Pangasinan under the leadership of Reverend Rudy Esperanza with 22 students. 2 students were from the original 12. Classes were held at the local Assembly of God Church. On August 5, 1948, after months of negotiating for a suitable property, BBI was moved to its present location in Malinta, Valenzuela City, formerly Polo, Bulacan. Missionaries, pastors, faculty, and students worked hard putting up old army tents for the kitchen, dining room, library, and chapel. 4 nipa huts were built for housing and classrooms, and sometimes classes were even held under the tree. 14 students graduated under the batch name Pioneers on April 1, 1949. The year 1949 saw the construction of buildings on the campus, and the school was renamed Bethel Bible Institute. March 17 to 21, 1951 marked the revival of the decade as God used Mark Bentane and Bob Taitinger, Canadian Crusaders for Christ. The move of God on campus greatly stirred the lives of the faculty and students. Classes were suspended. Books and notes were laid aside. The power of God was felt all over the campus. In 1951, the first permanent building, the Knott Hall, was constructed and dedicated to the Lord. Another significant mark is the influx of students from the Tagalog areas. BBI had a great part in the founding of Assemblies of God churches in Metro Manila. BBI continued to expand and many changes had taken place. Missions conventions became an annual event, and foreign students began to come in, particularly from the Asia-Pacific region. In 1963, the Farrens and the Coles arrived. Reverend Cole assumed the presidency of BBI. Other missionaries also arrived, such as Brother Schoenfeld, the Hillarys, and Sister Phyllis Backey. The Far East School of Theology was started in the campus in 1964. In 1968, under the presidency of Lorenzo Lazaro, BBI became a chartered member of PABATS. In 1973, after the declaration of martial law, 2 graduates of Bethel were commissioned as missionaries to Vietnam, Cres Fernandez and his wife, Norma. The yearbook of Bethel changed its name to Kalawili from the original name of Trumpet in 1978. Kalawili is a Filipino word which connotes unity, accord, and harmony. It's the unity of the will, decision, and action. Reverend Eli Javier assumed the presidency upon the election of the board. As BBI entered the 1980s, 2 Singaporean and 1 Indonesian student led the influx of more foreign students to study at Bethel. Students followed them from Scotland, Samoa, Korea, Japan, and Malaysia. In 1985, a curriculum for bachelor's degree in Christian ministry designed by Dr. William Farron was approved and implemented. It was also in this year that the name BBI was changed to Bethel Bible College. In 1986, the first Bachelor of Christian Ministry degree was awarded to the First Fruits class. The Far East Advanced School of Theology facilities were turned over to Bethel Bible College because the former had moved to Baguio. The Master's Praise, a BBC music group, left to minister for 3 months in California and Hawaii. The renovation of BBC Chapel was also implemented and dedicated on August 29, 1986. An extension program in Cubao was officially opened under the directorship of Reverend Curtis Butler. This decade was marked by the dedication of a new classroom building. The keynote speaker was Senate President Jovito Salonga. On March 4, 1995, Reverend Curtis Butler was installed as the interim president of BBC. After serving for 13 years as the academic dean, Reverend Fermin Ziberzero was appointed by the board of directors as the new president on February 28, 1998. Reverend Rick Walden and Reverend June Lebray assumed the post of vice president and academic dean, respectively. New generations of leaders and ministers called by God are coming to be trained. There are also many significant developments that happened during this decade. A newly built men's and women's dorm was dedicated to the Lord. Accreditation was granted by the Commission on Higher Education, which allows the college to offer AB in religious education. Even at 70, Bethel Bible College continues to grow to meet with the challenges and changes of our time.